Hey guys, Lexus driver here. Welcome to a new video. Now on this video, another Volvo vehicle I'm going to be talking about. This is the Volvo XC40. Now, I like to say this is still latest in the Volvo lineup in my personal opinion because the XC40, this is a compact SUV. And the first time I saw this vehicle, I have to admit, this is really cool for cheap buyers, like buyers who are on a budget and prefer having a car but don't want to spend too much money. In fact, I like to say this is like an entry level vehicle before they can choose to upgrade for the XC60 or XC90. But the XC40, this is without a doubt a very cool and amazing mini SUV. But of course, it's still big enough to be traversing um, off-roading and on-roading. But the XC40, as I said, small, somewhat affordable. I wouldn't say somewhat affordable. It's a budget-friendly Volvo. So yeah, but let's delve into this vehicle. Let's see. Huh? Okay, here we go. This short video here shows a lot that this vehicle will have to offer. The XC40, same design except it's the size that's the difference. So let's delve into this. Um, Let's see. Okay, now about the exterior of the vehicle, the design is still the same. The only difference is the size, as I said. The same as you would find in the XC90 and XC60. Um, so yeah. Um, just like the XC60, you can only sit up to four people, up to 4 or 5 people in this vehicle, because this is a compact vehicle, a compact SUV, nothing fancy. You still get ample trunk space in this vehicle, but regardless, but overall, this vehicle is really best for budget-friendly drivers. I'll talk about the interior once I delve more into here. Okay, so here are the pictures. Exterior is self-explanatory. Um, I think the XC40, how I view this is like, ever since Volvo's coupe lineup has been declining. They had if you've been reading about Volvo used to have the convertibles and coupe models. The Volvo C30 and the Volvo C70. These are all coupe vehicles. Well, the C70 is a coupe and a convertible because you can actually have the top down or the top up, whereas the C30, it's a compact coupe with that with that hatchback feel. So I'd say, how did Volvo come up with the XC40? I would say they took the idea of the C30, make it big, and then modify it to be a four-door vehicle, a four-door SUV. So I would say, that this vehicle, the XC40, this vehicle feels like it will carry on the legacy of the Volvo C30. Even though the Volvo C30, that vehicle is a coupe, a coupe hatchback. Yeah, that's how I see it. Okay. Yeah, very roomy for a small vehicle. Okay. Exterior, interior, and wheels. Let's see what's. Okay, this one's my favorite. Okay. Here we go. The trim levels. Now, before I get onto the trim levels, everything I'm talking about here will apply to the same thing as, let me scroll all the way up here. Everything I'm talking about, everything I talk about on the XC40 will apply to will be applied to the to the EX40 full electric. The EX30, this one is the smallest electric vehicle you can get in the Volvo lineup. That one I'll talk about that later once I finish covering the XC40 and maybe tomorrow I might do a video about the EX30. But I also have plans, to talk about the many features offered on the XC90 and the XC60 and then the XC40. So be on the lookout for that one. But don't worry, I'll do a video on that one. But anyways, let's get to the trim levels. Okay, so there are as expected, there's three trim levels. Let's see what the Ultra has. Oh, okay. Since I'm a top of the line person when it comes to vehicle trim levels, I would go with the Ultra model because the core model is your base model. Like, you don't want to, if you're on a budget, you don't want to spend too much. So XC40 Core, I would say this is the base model because from what I can understand here, the base model, it's how these trim levels are arranged from base model to top of the line. So from left to right, from on the left is the base model, to the right is the top of the line model. So for the top of the line XC40, I would go with the XC40 Ultra. But if you're extremely budget friendly, don't let me stop you. You can go with the core model or the plus model. But since I'm top of the line person, uh, but the Ultra model is without a doubt this is very top of the line for an XC40. Yeah, the sound system, pilot assist, and more. I think pilot assist, that's like auto driving, uh, but uh, but um, but you still have to keep your hands on the wheel. XC40 Plus, okay. Um, oh yeah, so XC40 Core, this is the base model, but you still get a lot of goodies. The XC40, you have all the goodies. Oh yeah, there's a black edition. Black edition. This is like the sport. Um, this is like the sport. This is like the sport model. Now, as much as I like the black edition, I wouldn't recommend it myself because black can really trap a lot of heat. It can make your hot. It can make your vehicle really hot. So black the XC40 Black Edition. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a pass because I don't want to go too black. I mean, if you're living in uh, in um, in a very cold area, like because this vehicle uh, Volvo is a Swedish vehicle company, so they try. Everybody's doing the best they can to stay warm during the cold winters. So Black Edition, in very cold weather, it's okay. But where I'm from, in the Philippines, tropical areas, I'm not gonna recommend it. Okay, let's talk about the interior before I end off the video. Okay, so here we go. This is what the interior looks like. It's the same as the Volvo XC90 and XC60, except what you get here is okay. Okay, the shifter is the same. Oh, uh, Okay, so the XC40, unlike the Volvo XC90 and the XC60, you actually get a push button start on the dashboard. So it makes sense why they it makes sense to be putting a push button start on the it makes sense to have a push button start on the dashboard, like as you can see right here, because given that this is a compact SUV, there's not a lot of room to have a push button start on the center console. So it makes sense that they would put the push button start on the dashboard, you know, next to the steering wheel. You know, all you have to do, as any other smart key starting procedure, make sure the transmission, you make sure the transmission shifter is in park. You put your foot on the brake, and then press the button to start the vehicle. Whereas the XC90 and the XC60, you just have to press and then twist in order to start the vehicle. I have no qualms with that. I can live with that. Same with this one. You know, the ignition port being placed like that. I can live with that. It makes sense. I can live with that. Now, the infotainment screen, it's the same design. I think maybe the difference is it's either the same size or the screen's slightly smaller, given that this is a compact vehicle. And you still get physical buttons, but you know the interior is very simple. So for Volvo's simplicity of the interior, I can live with that. And as this is a compact vehicle, um, you can only sit up to 5 people in this vehicle. So um, uh, yeah, but you know, it is what it is with this vehicle. I have no qualms, and I would say, you know, not only this is perfect. Um, I wouldn't say perfect, but not only this is also good for a small family, this is also good for teenage drivers. You know, if they prefer going for an SUV but don't want to spend too much, this is perfect for teenage drivers and young adults. Okay, so you do get only on higher trim levels on the Volvo XC40, you do get a panoramic moonroof. Um, I think the glass is fixed. Uh, but if it's fixed, I'm okay with that. I think only the top part, only the front part is actually open. Like you can actually open it, but let me know in the comments down below. For my viewers and subscribers who have driven or have actually driven the XC40, like if you have ownership of this vehicle, like you know. Do you actually have a panoramic view moonroof? And if you did, does the glass open, or only the tonneau cover opens? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. But you know, panoramic view moonroof. This would really make sense. You know, um, you know, in areas where you don't get a lot of sun, you would need that for vitamins to come to your body, and also sunlight. And it's really good to have natural lighting when you're driving. Yeah. Okay, you do get ample trunk space despite the size, but it's pretty cool. You get what you get with this vehicle, but you get what you get. You'd be really satisfied. And yeah, this vehicle is really perfect for young buyers. So that is the XC40. Everything I talked about on the XC40 will apply to the counterparts of this vehicle. The XC40 fully electric. Um, so everything I talk about will apply to the same thing, except it's an electric. So yeah, the XC40, Volvo's compact SUV, and the the successor to their small compact vehicles like the C30. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, and be sure you hit that notification bell so you can stay updated on new content I have on my YouTube channel. But anyway, guys, that's all I have this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye, and Have a good day, everybody.